The United Nations Security Council passed a resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza during Ramadan on Monday morning, though the U.S. abstained from the vote. This resolution must be implemented. Failure would be unforgivable, said Antonio Guterres, Secretary-General of the UN in a statement on X, formerly known as Twitter. 4. That's how many times the UN Security Council failed to pass a resolution calling for a ceasefire before Monday's resolution passed. Monday's resolution was introduced by the 10 non-permanent members of the UN Security Council, and was reportedly negotiated until the last minute. The U.S. requested the resolution not call for a permanent ceasefire, but a lasting ceasefire, with the ability for both sides to negotiate conditions in which it could be sustained, according to the New York Times. The U.S. vetoed 3 past resolutions calling for an immediate ceasefire, with the most recent in February, but backed Friday's proposed resolution that an immediate and sustained ceasefire with no explicit conditions, marking the biggest shift in the Biden administration's stance on the conflict since it escalated last October. In recent weeks, President Joe Biden has increasingly clashed with Netanyahu over his handling of the war in Gaza, especially as Netanyahu has signaled Israel's intention to invade Rafah, which Vice President Kamala Harris said Sunday would be a huge mistake and have consequences for Israel. Netanyahu followed through on his threat to cancel an Israeli delegation planned to visit Washington, D.C. minutes after the UN resolution passed. The delegation had been requested by Biden and was set to discuss U.S. military support for Israel and Israel's planned operations in southern Gaza.